so neon, so exciting. Alright, so today we're doing a summertime glam-ish kind of makeup look. I did one that was more natural and like dewy and things a couple weeks ago, so I'll link that in the eye and down below, but I wanted to do kind of like a bronzy smoky eye and just something I would wear for summer if I want something a little bit next level but not overboard, still wearable for the summer. But if you're excited for this video, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, you can join the Bayrito family and subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Alright, so probably my #1 summer product that I've talked about a lot lately has been this sunscreen. It's been what I've been prepping my skin with and also obviously using as sun protection. So I have this on my face right now. It just gives you the prettiest glow. It doesn't feel greasy. It absorbs into your skin but still gives you the glow. So that's all I have on my skin right now. I've also really been liking prepping my skin with this, and I've been using this at night too. It's the CeraVe Hydrating Micellar Water. I didn't like this at first, and then I don't know, I just started using it again the last 2 days, and it's giving me that like glassy kind of forehead look, which I love. So I'm gonna fill my pores with the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer, one of my favorite primers of all time. Sometimes you get like little crusty things right when you squeeze it out, so just don't put that on your face, you know. All right, so I'm just gonna use this right on my pore area around my nose. I'm not gonna bring this up to my forehead because it can kind of mattify you a little bit, so if you're oilier, you might like that, but for me, my skin is still on the normal to dry side after Accutane. It hasn't gone back to oily. So I'm just putting this right on my pores and it just fills them in so nice and almost like blurs right there. I've actually been so excited to sit down and film today because I just feel like I've been go, go, go. Go, go. So foundation is just gonna completely depend on your skin type. I've talked about all 3 of these foundations so many times, but these are my go-to for summer and my skin type right now. So the Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo, I mix this in with something because it's too dark. CYO Long Lasting Life Proof, or the Lancome Renergy Lift Foundation. So all of these last amazing on my skin. They give me really pretty skin-like dewy kind of look. And for summer, if you want that extra longevity, you can mix in some of the Catrice Prime and Fine waterproof makeup transforming drops. I did a whole foundation Friday on this. These I feel like actually do a little something for the humidity and heat and stuff. It's been freaking hot in Seattle, like in the 90s, so if I'm gonna be out all day and I don't want my makeup to melt off my face, I have been mixing in a drop of this and whatever I'm using that day. Because I want kind of more coverage today, because I'm gonna be doing like a full-on glam kind of look, I think I'm gonna mix the Dermablend with CYO and mix in a drop of this guy. This top I got at Ross. Wait, Ross? Yeah. No, TjMaxx. I'm all about like the orange red right now. I'm into it for lips, for clothes, for everything. Ignore my crusty primer right there, but that's about how much I mix in. I did a half face wear test with those drops, so if you want to see if there is an actual difference, you can check out that video. So when I was in San Diego, I got my brows done. So I got my permanent brows touched up by Carrie again. She does such a friggin' amazing job. I showed part of it in a vlog that went up. Yeah, that vlog is up if you want to see a little bit of the process and stuff, but I have a couple videos on permanent brows. I just freaking love them, and the technique that Carrie does is different than microblading. It's not microblading, it's tapping, which lasts way longer. If you've done microblading or watch videos on her or whatever and people's brows are fading after like 4 months, whatever she does lasts amazing, because I've had mine on for 2 years. 2 years. We just basically darkened it and they are gonna fade. I've only had these on for about a week now. Not even, like 6 days. If you're in the San Diego area, I'll link Carrie's info down below, but highly recommend her. But because I just got them done, I'm gonna be a little bit more careful around the brows than I usually am. I'm just gonna use my concealer brush to carve out my brows a little bit just so I don't cover them with the foundation. I always get questions about this brush. This is the Morphe G38. I have all my brushes listed in the description box, always. So that gave me pretty good coverage, but both of those are buildable, so I'm actually just gonna take a sponge and just add whatever's left over, since I do have a little bit more, just to get full coverage. And this sponge is by Shop Miss A. I've been reaching for it lately. It's just so friggin' bouncy. It's like so soft on your face. Ooh, you know when your eyes like stick together? All right, so this foundation combo with these drops mixed in, not set with a powder, will last me all day. Keep in mind, that is just my skin type. If you have oilier skin, I would recommend setting it, especially if you're gonna be in heat and humidity and everything. If you have oily skin, this was one of my favorite powders when I had oily skin, and it's from the drugstore, the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, or Rimmel Stay Matte is one of the best mattifying powders, drugstore or high-end. It used to break me out, but it was amazing at actually mattifying. So if you have like major humidity and stuff and you have oily skin, it might be worth trying that one. So for concealer, normally I would go in with these two concealers, the KKW mixed with the Flower Beauty. I've mentioned these a lot lately. I want to use the new Too Faced Born This Way concealer because I am going to be having a review on it. So I've been trying to try it out as much as possible before I make that video. So far, I'm not feeling it. So just keep that in mind when I'm applying this. The best shade match for me I've found is Snow. It's not ideal. It's just the least yellow, even though there is still a lot of yellow in there. So I'm actually gonna layer this with the KKW, just add a little bit like I do with the Flower Beauty. This helps lighten it, add some coverage, and set it. And I have tried this combo before. Still not a fan of it. I'm trying to find a way that I like the Too Faced Born This Way. It just doesn't give me as flawless of a look as my go-to combo. Finally got my Made Cheer pressed powder in the mail from Wish again. I ordered 2 or 3 of these just to have as backups. I'm obsessed with this powder. Beautiful for under the eyes. I mix this in with my Physicians Formula one. That gives me the perfect shade and just sets my under eyes really well. And this brush I also always link down below, but it's actually in a BH Cosmetics set. I don't think they sell this brush individually, but I love a firm brush for underneath my eyes. So the only other area of my face I set is just right here so that I can blend products easier on top of it. And I'm just using the same Physicians Formula powder, not mixing it this time, just using this shade. So I don't feel like I need to do anything to my brows right now since I have the permanent brows on and they're nice and dark right now. But what I've been doing lately is going in with the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel. This is what I was doing before I got the permanent brows touch up. This is in the shade Grind. I love this thing. Or this is an awesome product for the summer if you want something that's really gonna last. It's the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Gel. Use a brush with it, don't use the applicator. So those are 2 options that you could go in with for your brows. There's like a giant ass flock of birds outside. Okay, that actually sounds like there's 85 birds. Bronzer lately, I've been reaching for this again. This is the Cover FX Sunkissed bronzer. That's what it looks like. The packaging of this feels so cheap to me. It's like so plasticky, but the product is nice. Using my Wet n Wild contour brush, I kind of just like to stamp on my bronzer first and then blend, just to be sure that I'm not pulling up any of that foundation. I'm going to use quite a bit of this today. Like I want to bring it up to my temples and stuff because this is a summery look, so I want my face a little bit warmer than usual. And if you get too much in one spot, you can always just go back in with whatever powder brush you used and kind of blend that out. So I've been really liking filming in the living room better. I might be filming in here more until I get the filming room actually like dialed in, which might take a little bit because I think I'm going to end up actually painting one of the walls because the white walls just do something weird with like the white balance and stuff. And I also kind of like the contrast of having, I don't know, darker walls, so I might paint one of them gray in there or something. White walls on camera just look really blue sometimes, and it can just throw off your whole coloring. And also I think a lot of times people think it's too bright because my skin is light, when in reality, it's just that it's my skin. You can always tell in a video if it's too bright because my hair looks not super like saturated and black. If it's like this where you can tell there's like clear saturation and it's dark, it's just my skin being bright. It's not the camera. If I darken the camera more, then everything else is like too drowned out. I don't know why I just got into that. Okay, I'm in one of those moods where I feel like I could just talk for like 5 hours right now. All right, this is kind of gross. I've had this blush for way too long. I literally think I've had this blush since I started my YouTube channel. They still make this shade. It's in Innocent Flush. I just got this from a Dollar Tree or dollar store like years ago, the size of it. But this is one of the prettiest pinky peachy blushes for summer if you like a matte one. So if you like that and you want something drugstore and affordable, this one's great. This one I'm going to go in with today because I want something a little bit glowier and I've been really liking this. This is the Laura Geller Cantaloupe blush, swirled baked blush. When I went to link this last time, I think you can only get this on QVC now. Now that I've lived in Seattle, I always just want to say QFC. We have like a grocery store called QFC, which gets confusing with QVC and KFC. I like this because you can really build this up. It's hard to get this to be too much. It is more on the sheer side, but you still get a really pretty wash of color. So I've been really into this again. This is the MAC Hyper Real Glow Trio, I guess you could call it. I go in most often with this shade. I kind of mix these two. Also, it just gives you an intense highlight. So pretty. I think I actually want to add a touch of that kind of bronzy shade just over here. Like, look at that highlight. So if you have oily skin and you set your entire face at this point, this is where you could kind of add back in some of that glow while still having your skin be matte. if that makes sense, like still controlling the oil, but also giving your skin a glow. So if you wanted to, you could just take whatever's left over on your brush and just run it right here. I'm not gonna do that like right in the middle of your eyebrows. So skin is done. I'm gonna prime my eyes with MAC Paint Pot and Soft Ochre. I just washed all my brushes. Look how clean that is. This one I always get asked about too. This is Kat Von D number 40. I originally hated this brush and now I love it for priming my eyes because it's just the perfect shape where you can get right in there and you don't have to dig your friggin' nail into the paint pot. So I want to do a really warm, bronzy kind of smoky eye. All right, guys, so long story short, my file got corrupted of this one clip of me doing like 80% of my eyeshadow. So it's actually the next day now when I'm filming this clip. So I'm going to try and recreate the look up until the point where it cut off, if that makes sense. So I just primed my eyes with MAC Painterly Paint Pot. The shadow palette I'm using is the Morphe 39A palette. This was one of my favorite Morphe palettes ever made and it got discontinued. It was limited edition and then they just actually brought it back. So a bunch of you on Twitter wanted to see more eye looks with this since I used it in the past and I've talked about this before. So I wanted to do another look using this palette. I'm pretty sure they brought it back like for good now. I'm pretty sure it's permanent. So here's what the inside looks like. I have a few videos using this palette, but I love the army green shades in here. Just like there's something about this palette that's just so appealing to me, the colors in here. So in my crease to start out, I'm gonna go with this middle orangey shade right here. So I'm just going to fluff this in the crease. The next for lid shade, I'm going in with this super pretty bronzy color. It has almost a little bit of cool tones in there, which just makes it a little bit unique. It's not like a super warm bronze, and these are so freaking soft and metallic. So I'm gonna use my finger and put this on. Am I bleeding? Oh, what is that? I don't know what's on my hand. Whoops. Great. Hot mess right now. Pressing that on my lid. Shade is so pretty. To add to the crease and blend that out a little bit, I'm going to go in with the third down brown shade right here. So I'm just kind of applying this right above where I just put that metallic shade and blending it into the crease a little bit. And then patting it on this outer area. I am going to deepen up this outer V with a different color in a second. But first I'm just kind of using this to blend. And then with whatever's left over on the brush, I'm going to bring this pretty far into my inner corner and create almost like a slight halo right there. I'm going to go back in with that first orangey shade we used on the big fluffy brush and just blend this a little bit, really lightly, because I don't want that warm brown I just applied to go too high up, but I just want to blend out the edges a little bit. And to deepen everything up, I'm going to go in with this fourth down brown shade right here. This is such a pretty, like, rich, deep brown. So I'm going to take the same brush. This is the Coastal Scents BR250. I also use the Japanese brush kind of interchangeably with this. I'm just patting this shade on the outer V, and I'm going to kind of bring this in a little bit to blend it in with the metallic shade. I'm going to blend that out after. I first just want to pack it down right there. All right, so now I'm gonna wipe off that same brush. If you go in with something like this, like a bigger blending brush, it's just gonna bring that brown higher than I want it. So I'm just gonna use that same brush, but wipe it off so I don't have any more brown depositing onto my eye. Just blend out the edges super lightly. And I'm also gonna blend that into the metallic shade a little bit more. We're gonna go back in with the metallic on my lid, so it's okay if it kind of covers it up a little bit. All right, so that's about where it cut off. So now I'm gonna pop back to the original clip. The thing I love about this palette is that they just friggin' melt together. I'm gonna go back onto my original big fluffy brush and blend. Okay, so I want to touch up just right here again with that same deep brown shade. Just want it a little bit smokier. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with the bronzy shade on my finger and go right over where I want it, just because it gets a little bit lost with all the blending. So one of the things I really like doing for summery looks, even if I'm doing like a smoky eye like this, is putting a white liner on my waterline and then still smoking out the lower lash line. It just brightens up your eyes, but then you still get the smoky look because you're putting shadow down there. I'm gonna take the LA Girl Perfect Precision eyeliner. I also just recently picked up the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. Actually, I'm gonna try this one today because I haven't used this in years. This used to be my go-to for the waterline. That just glides on so easy on the waterline. Now let's go in with the browns again. I'm gonna blend out the lower lash line. First I'm gonna take this brush. This is the E36, and I'm gonna go in with that first orangey kind of shade that we went in with and just blend that down. I'm bringing this pretty far in, like pretty much all the way in. Then I'm gonna take that third down brown shade that we first used to blend the crease, and I'm not gonna bring that as far in, but I am gonna blend it on about the outer half. So now I'm gonna take my flat edge liner brush and I'm gonna line right underneath my lash line with that deepest brown shade that I use to smoke everything out. So I'm putting this right underneath my lashes, and I don't think I want to fully like blend this out, so I'm just kind of creating almost like a liner with this. So for my inner corner, I'm going to go back in with the highlight palette that I used by MAC, and I'm going to take the bronzy shade in here, I think, because I don't want it super, super bright, but I do want like a little bit of pop. Oops. Ooh. Wow, do you ever just feel like you're 90 years old? I'm gonna actually dip my brush into that shade and then spray it with a setting spray. I'm just gonna use whatever spray I have here right now, which is this Catrice one, which I'll talk about in a second because I've been obsessed with it. And then just pop it right on my inner corner. Like I said, I don't want a super light, bright highlight. I want more of like a bronzy one. I think I'm ready for some lashes. I haven't put on false lashes in so freaking long. So first I'm just gonna coat my lashes with some mascara. I like doing this before, just so you can cover all of your natural lashes. I'm gonna go in with my Pure Diva lashes. So I'm gonna put on these lashes and I will be right back. But my lashes are on. These are one of my favorites. I also put my Wet n Wild Mega Length mascara on the bottom. I just love the look of the white eyeliner with the smoky eye. So for lips, I'm going to use Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in the shade Thrill Seeker. This is one of my go-tos for summer. Or Bang Bang. This one is a little bit more red. This one's more orangey. I might actually do Bang Bang and then put this on the center. What do I want to do? No, I think I'm just going to go with Thrill Seeker. This formula by Smashbox is bomb. I have a whole video on my favorite red liquid lipsticks, and a few of them are Smashbox. The applicator on here is awesome because it has the point, so you can get a really clean line with this. I do feel like this has dried out a little bit though. It's like stiffer than usual. So neon, so exciting. Yes, definitely feels like it has dried out quite a bit. I've had it for a while. All right, so last, I think I just want to add a little bit more bronzer. I'm gonna add a little bit to the tip of my nose, and then a tiny bit more to my temples too. I feel like it looks like a little bit more in real life, but on camera it's kind of getting washed out. Just kidding, that wasn't the last step. Final step, setting spray. I've been in love with this Catrice Illuminating Dewy Glow Setting Spray. This is new by them, and I tried it out in a first impressions video or Shadow and Schmooze or something. It says Water Glow Trend on it, and that is what it looks like. It gives you this like wet, super glowy, dewy kind of look. So if you're into that, you would love this. I've been using it underneath my makeup, over my makeup. I don't feel like I need any more glow right now. I think it might be overboard if I put this on. I just wanted to mention it in case you do want to add more of a glow, or again, if you did like the oily skin things that I recommended. You can still use the mattifying products and like powder your face and everything, but then just go over it with a setting spray like this, and it just gives you the prettiest freaking glow. This is super affordable. You can get it on Ulta. But this is the final look, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have everything linked down below that's on my face right now and that I'm wearing. My nail polish, necklaces, shirt. I always list everything down below in the description box for you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.